In this lab, we will be creating some health monitors so that we'll know if our pools and virtual servers are up and available or disabled. So I'm going to go back to my XP machine that's already connected. I have my big IP running, and I also have my Ubuntu server. Okay, we're going to go to the local traffic tab. We'll come down to monitors, and then we will create a new monitor. I'm going to call it my underscore ICMP. And then of course, we'll go and select our type, which is ICMP. And then under basic, we're going to change our seconds. This is pretty much the only time you create a custom ICMP monitor, is when you need to change these times and intervals. So I'm going to change the intervals to 10, and then my timeout value to 31. Transparent, I'm going to leave default. All right, and then finish. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my nodes, and I'm going to select the server 1.1. Okay, and then I'm going to select my health monitor right here. I'm going to select node specific. All right, and then my ICMP, which I just created, we'll move it over, and then we'll update. Okay, now let's go back to our node list. And then you could see that now this has changed to available. Before, it was just a blue square, and blue square is unknown. When you see a round circle, it's available. And then we could also go to our network map. And this might actually take a little bit to change, but if we just hover over it, we could see the green circle. Okay, now we're going to go back to our node list. And then we're going to click on our server 2. And then we are going to select for the health monitor on this one, none, and update. Okay, let's go back to our node list. Okay, and at this point, each node has a different health monitor. Node 1 actually has the one we created, my ICMP. Node 2 has none, and Node 3 has the default, which is just the standard ICMP health monitor. Okay, let's go to our pools, and then HTTP pool, our properties, basic. We just want a standard HTTP pool. We'll just move it over, and we're going to update. Okay, and then I'm just going to click members real quick. And you see everything just changed to green. So everything is now available. And it's all using the default HTTP pool, which of course is not recommended unless it's a lab. So let's go back to our monitors, and we'll create another monitor. And this one will be my HTTP, my underscore HTTP. Type is going to be HTTP. Okay. We are going to leave the interval and the timeout at a default. For the string setting, we're going to use index.html. And for the receiver string, we're going to type server with a capital S. Okay, we'll accept all the other defaults and click Finished. Okay, now let's go back to our pools. Our HTTP pool. Let's go to our members now. And then .toMember, which is our second server. We'll click that. All right, configuration. We're going to go to Advanced. And now in our priority, it's going to be a 1, which is default. And most of these will be defaults. Our health monitor down here, we're going to change to member specific. And then we're going to add my HTTP. Okay. And then we will click Update. Okay, now we're at unknown. Okay, let's go back to our member list. Okay, and it's updated. Now it's available, so the health monitor is now active and checking. Okay, let's go back to our members. And now member 3. Okay, and then we want to go to Advanced Configuration, go down to our health monitors, and we will select None for this, and Update. Okay, now it's unknown. Let's go back to our members. And now you can see that we have overwritten our pool member monitor with the individual node monitor. And in this case, we selected not to have this node monitored. And of course, at this point, each node in this pool is being monitored differently, just like we had in our node list before. So each node here is being monitored differently, and also each node in our pools are being monitored differently. And of course, this is not a recommended configuration. I've just done this just so you could see the difference in this lab. Okay, now we're going to create another monitor and create new. This one is going to be my_HTTPS. And then of course this is a HTTPS monitor. Okay. And then we're going to leave interval and timeout at a default. Our get, we're going to do index.html. Okay, and our string is going to be server, capital S, and of course number 2 at the end. Okay, we'll leave the rest at a default. We'll click Finished. Okay, we'll now add this to our HTTPS pool. So let's go there. Okay, health monitor. We'll scroll down, my HTTPS. We'll add it and update. Okay, let's click on our members. And now you can see that one of them is available and the other ones are not. And then we'll also go to our virtual servers. And we see that both of those are available now. Okay, then we'll just go back to our pull list. Okay, and both of those are available. So let's go back to HTTPS pool and our members. And now everything's been updated. So now you see these are offline but enabled. And the reason is because the string that we just put in our HTTPS monitor, which was server 2. So all it's doing is monitoring server 2. Okay, and then we could go back to our monitors. Okay, and then my HTTPS monitor. All right, now we could change this field where it's just, right now it's just monitoring server 2. And we will just do a bracket and then 1 through 3, and then bracket at the end. Okay, let's update. So now this is telling us it's going to monitor server 1 through 3. Let's go back to our pool members. HTTPS. Okay, now you see that all the servers are available and they're all currently being monitored. Okay, and if we go back to our monitors and my HTTPS again, and just so you can actually see this, we'll do 1 through 2 and then update, and then go back to our pool members, HTTPS members, and then sometimes it might take a minute for this to update. So maybe if we just refresh. Okay, now you can see that we're no longer monitoring server 3 and it is offline currently. So we can go back to our monitors and just change that, HTTPS, and then change our string back to 3 and update. And you could do this with virtual servers as well. You can create a virtual server monitor. You can do it in your pools and also on the individual nodes. And that's how you create monitors. Okay, now that we're done with this lab, we need to save our configuration. So we'll go to System, Archive, and Create. And then I'm going to call it BigIP_labs. Okay, and then this is going to be the lecture 5 labs. So labs5.ucs, and then finish. So just in case anything happens to this configuration, we could easily go back to this and just load it. And you should actually make this a habit every time you do changes, usually before and after, just in case something happens or goes wrong. You always have a configuration to go back to. Thanks for watching.